in my classroom, I try to think about how are the students going to use it, how am I going to use it, and how does it match with what we're doing. So everything that is out has a purpose. I put a variety of things in the room, like this bee's nest, out to sometimes just spark a conversation. So this bee's nest has been here for 2 years, and it comes up probably 4 times a year, whether someone's learning about bees or someone finds, like, I mean, in that last section, somebody found the inside of a bee's nest and brought it to school, and we had a debate of whether or not that bee's nest would actually look like that on the inside. And so that kind of led us to bringing out books and watching videos to try to find what actually does the inside of a bee's nest look like. And then also like the boxes of displaying their clay and their things that they found outside. Like that has so many different connections, whether it's art where they were mimicking pumpkins, or the Explore Time where they made a clay plate. You know, it's just displaying their work and their wonders and putting it out there for them to hopefully inspire others in the classroom to help, and even just for them to look at and recognize that that's theirs and to be proud about it. So putting their work out wherever you can, I find is important to give them confidence and to hopefully inspire other students. It's an area that like any student can work at, and I find that a lot of students that maybe fidget a little bit love working here because they can just stick their hand right in and they play with it, helps them to focus. And though it looks really pretty, it's also purposeful. You know, they can play with it. They've taken them out and made patterns with the rocks from dollar store and the actual rock.
You've had quite a few teachers come into your room and be a part of your classroom this year.
Yeah.
So what kind of questions do you get from teachers, and what has that challenged you in your mind?
Well, one of the things I get asked a lot, and actually was something I struggled with for 3 years now, was how do I use my conferring notes? And that this year, that was my big push, I guess, because I struggled with the same thing. And that was the question I got every single time. What do you do with all your conferring notes when you're done with them? And how do you use them? And I would tell them, oh, I use it to help me plan, and I use it during writing report cards. But like them, I struggled with, well, you have so many sheets, it's really, or notebooks or whatever you use, it's really hard to keep track and to go through them all. And so it wasn't till probably March that I knew someone was going to ask me about it. So I thought, okay, I got to have an answer, because I had been thinking about it and kind of talking with other teachers, and I had thought about creating a sheet where I summarized each month that matches with the curriculum and the report card. And so I guess I took the time to sit there and play with things, and I talked to a couple of teachers in the school to see what they thought, and then that I was able to share that. So that's a question, I guess, that came up a lot that pushed me to go to my next step. It challenged me.
You use your conferring notes a lot. Is there, what else do you use when it comes to assessment in the report card?
I do a lot of documentation through pictures and through student words and sticky notes, which I struggle with a lot, because I had this idea, and I still fight with this, that you have to use a rubric or a checklist so that when parents come in or anything, you can show them like, oh, well, this is why they have that mark. But in pre-KK, I got started with documentation through pictures and me writing about what they're doing. And I really loved that style of assessment. And so I tried bringing it up with me, and I still use it now. And I love it, and my students love it. Like, it's...
And what gives you confidence to keep going that way?
I don't know. I always do feel a little bit unsure with it. I guess it's just like, will people think it's okay, is what I struggle with. But in my heart, I know that it is, because it is so meaningful. And
So have your kids given you any other evidence that what you're doing is working, as far as that they're learning and they're retaining?
Well, definitely this year, because I had them for 2 years. They bring up things I talked about last year all the time. Like, it's really funny, the things they remember, and they, oh yeah, we did this last year. Oh, remember when Miss Elliott said this? And
so, any advice, last words that you would give to teachers starting out? Or
I know, though it seems hard, don't be afraid to take a risk and to put yourself out there and to ask for help. I guess that was one of the things that really led to my success, was not being afraid to ask for help and to be pushed when you need to be pushed, to be challenged, to keep yourself challenged and going and trying new things and finding what works for you. So be true to yourself as a teacher, I guess.